What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the KNC Sports Podcast. After being a week off, me and Kaden are officially back on the mics. Buddy, welcome back. How was your week off, man?
It was good. It was good. It was much needed break from school and everything. Stress free. Good to see some friends and family. You, how was your
Oh,
week off?
my week off was good. It went by quick, of course. That's how every week goes. But it was nice. I went home for a little bit, saw my family and friends. Got to catch up with some friends that I hadn't seen in a while, and then, of course, seeing my family. So that's always awesome. Then I just came back up here and chilled, and now we're took our week off, and now we're getting ready to get back into the groove of things because boy, do we have a lot to cover. So as y'all know,
Yes,
March
sir.
Madness has officially
Yes, we do.
begun. Let's go. Round of 64 and round of 32 is officially over, so we are off to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. I gotta say, this first round was pretty good. These first couple rounds, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a little disappointing. Not really a whole lot of upsets as you would like to see, but High Point beating Wisconsin, that was sick. And then Texas is kind of on a little
I'm so
Cinderella run
glad I
right
turned
now.
that
They
game.
beat BYU
Yeah,
and then Gonzaga too, which is kind of wild.
mm-hmm.
So I think
They
that's
were neck and neck the
fun.
whole game.
Duke had me scared there for a little bit. Losing to Siena in the first half, but then came through and pulled it out in the second half.
I
So
probably wouldn't even.
a little nerve-wracking there,
Yeah,
but ultimately all that matters is the win. So, and that's what they did.
yeah, exactly. Win is a win. Yeah, no. So we'll get more into the March Madness coverage towards the end of the episode, but we're gonna start off with some NFL and NBA news. So in the NFL, big news coming out today. Jackson Smith, JSN, biggest contract, highest paid receiver in NFL history. It's a 4 year, $168 million extension. What was it, 42 million a year? Yeah, it's
42.5 million a year,
JSN Super
which
2.5. Yeah.
is kind of crazy. Uh, I mean, I think he's worth it. I think he's definitely a top five receiver in the NFL now. I mean, he proved himself this year, but man, that's setting the bar really, really freaking high now, dude. 40 million is a lot of money per year. And like now that sets it, Puka has to get paid. How much is Puka gonna get? 50? Or for like 45 to 50 million range, somewhere around that. It's resetting the wide receiver market by a long shot. Dude, like we thought CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase were getting paid a lot, and then here comes Jackson Smith and Jigba signing $168 million
42,
dollar
68
contract,
million.
40 something million a year, which is just absolutely insane. I mean, I think he's worth it. I'd say like he just had a great season, one offensive player of the year. Uh, Proved that he was one of the best in the league, but it's just crazy to me how much these guys are getting paid now, and it's wild, wild.
Yeah, and it's only the salary cap only increases so much every year. It doesn't, it goes up, but it doesn't go up a whole lot to where you can get
Correct.
out. But I didn't, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, well, he is a Super Bowl champion. He had a great year. He had well over 1,700 yards. So, and winning Offensive Player of the Year, like you mentioned, definitely is big. But it does set the market now because, Puka, stud year every year. Matthew Stafford's his quarterback. How are they gonna do that now? So I think it's definitely. I think it's gonna come into a big level of play coming into next season with how this market's
For
gonna shift.
sure.
And
Yep. And if you're Puka, you see that, you're like, I think I'm better than this guy.
mhm.
When I'm healthy, pay me $50 million a year. So if I'm the Rams, I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I got this deal done before Seattle, so you could have paid him less. I mean, I think Puka's obviously one of the best receivers in the NFL, top
Yeah,
five for sure. He's amazing. He's elite. Like no problems with him. But you don't want to pay him 50 million a year. Like you would have liked to get him down for 42 like Jackson Smith and Jigba, or who knows, maybe that he will sign for close to that or around that, and we're just kind of over expecting like the Rams to do something, but it just sucks nowadays because all these players they don't want to be team players. They're like, I want to be the most paid player in the league or at my position or whatever.
Hmm.
I want all this money. I don't care about winning. Whereas, Tom Brady was taking pay cuts to
Literally.
go build winning
Yeah.
teams to win Super Bowls. And he wanted to win, but nowadays these young guys all they care about is the money. And it's like, why do you want to be paid this much per year,
Hmm.
Like and not win? Obviously sometimes like you sign a big contract and you can still win. I'm not saying it's not possible to win with signing these big contracts, but it's definitely better to help your team when you're not taking $40 million. Plus, half of these guys are signed to endorsements with different brands. So you can't tell me you're not making millions off of that too. So like you're just being greedy at that point. I would want to sign for less and go win a Super Bowl with a bunch of endorsements to my name too. So you're still making money on the side, but I don't know. It's just these young guys that want all the money, man.
Yeah, and so I thinking about it and like what you were saying and how this might reset the market, what we were talking about. I was thinking a little bit about George Pickens as well, because he's on the tag this year, which is like 25 million. And so I'm not saying that well, knowing Jerry, how he paid CD, he's probably gonna be like, yeah, George, you got a great another year for us if he does. And he would go, yeah, I'll give you 180, I'll double that. And I'm like, so how I think about it is like it could affect maybe George Pickens a little because maybe he's too like, oh, well, he's getting 160. Maybe if I go out and have another year, maybe Jerry will be forced to give me that much. But I mean, with CD's contract and Dax, I don't think that's quite possible.
Yeah, I think George knows that he's not going to get paid that much anyways. I mean, if he goes out and has like an 1,800-yard season, maybe 30, like upside of high 30s for sure, but I I don't see George Pickens signing for more than 40 million a year. And I think Jerry knows that. I think all the teams in the NFL knows that. They're not going to sign him for that much.
Absolutely not. So we'll see how this definitely shapes out the market. It's gonna be it'll be a good season next year. We'll see how this Puka play contract plays out. Um, so in other news of the NFL, we have another trade that just went down last week.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle to the Broncos.
You know, it's interesting. I don't hate it. I want to see it in action first because Jalen Waddle did not impress me a whole lot. I know you're playing with Tua, and that's not super great when Tua's throwing you the ball, but with Tyreek Hill being out for most of the season, you didn't really do a whole lot to prove to me that like you can be that guy. And maybe Bo Nix will help him, and he'll have a better year under Bo Nix and be with Sean Payton in that system or whatever. But a first, a third, and a fourth round pick, that seems a little much to give up to me for him personally. And I know you swapped fourths too. It wasn't all that, but it's still a first, a third, and then now you've got a later or you got an earlier fourth round pick. It just seems like a lot to give up for a guy who just didn't really impress me a whole lot.
Yeah, I'd say I'm with you on that. When Tyreek was what was it, beginning of the year when he tore his ACL?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to say like what, week
week
six
six.
maybe?
Yeah,
6 or 7, around that time frame a little bit,
I didn't hear anything. No. Yeah.
No, I
No.
didn't say nothing
No.
either.
At all. So yeah, it was around that time, and I didn't really see much production. I didn't hear his name come up.
And I know he was kind of battling a little bit of his own injuries too, but
Mhm.
to me it still feels like you gotta be the guy. Like, and he was great in years past, and he
Yeah.
just wasn't great this year. So I don't know. And I know Miami thinks A Chain's their guy now, and he was He was their guy. A-Chain led the team in receptions. He's a running back. Like, doesn't make sense to me.
I
But
actually, well, I'm not, well, with how bad Miami was, I shouldn't be surprised that he was their leading
yeah,
reception.
I think they'll probably be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. Bottom three,
Absolutely.
for sure.
that's a whole blow. Coach gone, Tua's gone, Tyreek's
Your
gone.
only offensive weapon is A-Chain, and then I saw the other day, now there's rumors of him being traded. So,
Miami Dolphins definitely be bottom top five team for sure next year. They've got it's gonna be a while for their build back up.
they'll be bad for a while, I think, to be honest.
Yeah. So what would you give this a grade as?
A grade? I mean, for the Dolphins, I think it's probably like a B plus. I'll say B plus because what that first round pick is 30th pick,
Hmm.
so not super valuable. But I think you getting three picks, that's huge. That helps. If you're the Broncos, I want to say like C plus, B minus, somewhere around there. I don't think to me trading for Jalen Waddle doesn't really move the needle for me right now. And I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. If he goes off for an amazing season, with Bo Nix, whatever, that's cool. I have nothing against Jalen Waddle. I just with how he did this year, didn't really impress me, and I think that's a lot of draft capital to give up for a guy who just was kind of decent. I don't even think he had 1,000 receiving yards.
No,
So
he I have it right here. It says he had 910, so 50
yeah,
off.
see,
So
that's just
or 890 off.
I don't know, a lot to give up for a guy who didn't even have 1,000 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. I
How many games did he play?
games played this year was didn't think about it play. No, he didn't play. Well, the stats show here that he played in pretty much every game almost.
And yeah, nah, not a good season.
His
I was gonna say I know he missed like I thought he missed like two or three, but
or I
still.
could well because they also block out the days that you don't play. So his highest game this year was 110 yards against the Carolina Panthers with one touchdown. But I I would say for me, we'll see how it works because Bo Nix, who did he have in his receiving core? Was it Cortland Sutton?
Marvin Mims, Cortland Sutton, um, I want to say Little Jordan Humphrey. I like him. I like him a
Yeah,
lot. So, I mean, the receiving core is solid. Nothing super crazy, but I think Jalen Waddle helps. I don't think he's a negative asset, but I don't think he. To me, it's not the difference between you making a championship and the Super Bowl.
yeah. Well, and points when Jalen Waddle was with the Dolphins that one season a few years ago, he was like the fastest recorded receiver at the time, and that's when the Dolphins offense was popping. Now they're not, and so we'll definitely see how that skids into the Broncos offense. I'll see how Bo treats it because he's young, and so he's probably Sean Payton will have something for him, but this is pretty much gonna be
Yeah, I think that helps too.
yeah.
I think it'll help being in a Sean Payton system compared to Mike McDaniel. But also, Mike McDaniel is supposed to be a great offensive mind, right? And it didn't really
It
feel
was
like he
fluke.
did much
No,
this last season.
and now we've
And
got
is that Miami's offense just being that terrible? Tua being that terrible? I don't know.
yeah.
It is what it is.
What was I gonna say? I had it in my head. It was about June. Oh, and so really, the Broncos is pretty much the same team, even with this addition. You know, and if this is the same team that gets it back to the championship, maybe even the Super Bowl this time, we'll see.
But they lost a bunch of defensive pieces.
That is sure. See, I knew they were missing. I was
So,
missing something.
but I still think they're one of the better teams in the AFC for sure. I think they can run it back to the championship. Uh, Bo Nix is healthy.
So that gives it for the NFL. That's quiet news. The draft is coming up. Oh, goody. The draft is
The
coming up
draft is coming up.
another month in another month. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking at that.
What
So
is
now
it?
on to
I
the
think it's a
NBA.
month from today. I
I
thought
think
I
it's
saw
the tw
something the NFL posted a month ago, or a month from today, or something like that.
yeah,
Maybe
the
not.
20
Whatever.
23rd through 24th maybe. Or I could be wrong. But yeah, so off to the NBA because we got something in that. So the Shams Charania reported last week that the NBA is supposed to have meetings this week and do a vote on the potential expansion teams of Vegas and Seattle. So we kind
Yep.
of briefly talked about this in one of the early episodes about expansion. And do we think this vote's going to go through or pass?
Yeah, I think it probably will go through. And I don't hate it. I don't mind expansion. I think it'll be fun. This will be the first time in our lifetime we see expansion. We get to witness expansion. So I'm excited to witness that. I think long term it benefits the NBA for sure because you bring in two more teams and bigger-ish markets. Vegas is a huge market, and Seattle's a decent market as well. But I think short term it kind of hurts the NBA a little bit because they're already kind of lacking right now, and you had two more teams. Like you already got teams right now who are kind of checked out, not really interested because like they kind of just suck, and they're like there's no star players on their team or their star players hurt, and you're just like, well, why would I want to watch this team if all my team is hurt, my superstars aren't playing? And
I'll
then
just be
like
tanking.
Vegas and Seattle aren't going to have any superstars really. Um, I mean, it depends on on who teams choose to protect. I think you probably won't get any superstars on those teams, but you'll get good players. I think some star players will be available. Um, so I think it'll be fun. I'm kind of excited to see an expansion, but from like the revenue perspective of the NBA, I think for a couple years it'll probably hurt.
Yeah. And that goes with how, because I kind of talked to you about having like a pros and cons thing about it, and we've already talked about it. Like I said, my issue dealing with it is like, yes, I think it will. Do I think it will pass? Yes. My issue is going into it. Okay, not only were we talking about reshaping conferences and adding two more teams, but we're also talking about, all right, who's going to be the guy that comes up to buy this team?
Yeah,
Who's going to be the one to be like, oh yeah, we want to move cities, or no, we're going to stay. But they're like, oh, we want to, and like those just little stuff like that. And then
yeah,
when you add on to the expansion, when you add on to the draft as well, it's like, okay, who wants to come to Vegas? Who wants to go to Seattle? And it's just like, how are we going to move shifting pieces? And that's where it could add into with the revenue part for the first couple of years.
for sure. And I saw something that said Gary Payton would want to request a trade. Oh my goodness, would request a trade instantly to go play for Seattle when if they expanded, because he had his dad and whatever that was involved there. So I
Start
mean,
that regime back up.
there are players that want to go play there for sure, and they're big markets. Like if you do happen to get a superstar player there, they'll bring in money. Vegas will bring in money, that's for sure. But I do think, yeah, there will be people that want to buy him though, because especially in Vegas, probably somebody that owns like a casino or something will be like, yeah, I want to invest in a team.
Mavericks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you don't gotta worry about them
No, we don't
anymore.
have to worry about that no more. I remember that was a whole charade rumor, and then now that this is coming to light, it's like, oh, it's not
Yeah,
going to
and I've
happen.
seen people also talking about doing away with conferences, not the Eastern and Western conferences. Sorry, not conferences, divisions.
Divisions. Okay.
So it's just 15 teams in each conference now, and there's no division, like no winning the division anymore, which is fine with me, to be honest. I mean, what do you even really get winning your division in the first place? Nothing.
Participation trophy. Yeah.
So it's just really like, oh, you can claim you won your division, cool. Like that's really about all it is. You're not getting a higher seed or anything because of it. So
Like football, you get a top four seed guaranteed. In basketball, it's like,
yeah,
yeah, you could win
exactly. So
it,
you could do away with divisions, I think, and be fine with that, and then obviously one of Minnesota or Memphis or New Orleans. What's the other team talking about moving to the East? I would love for Memphis to get moved to the East, but I think the talk is that it's probably going to be Minnesota, which makes more sense, I think, to be
Hmm.
honest. But I would love to see Memphis in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, we lost by 6. That's cool. Yeah, so with you mentioning Memphis moving or Minnesota moving, where would you possibly want to see like because we have Seattle and Vegas set like as the teams that want to be involved in this. Where else would you possibly want to see like other cities
An
in
expansion
expansion
too?
too? Yeah.
I don't even really know, to be honest. Like,
Or instead of because they're only doing 2 right now, so instead of Vegas or Seattle, which one would you want to replace out and go to instead?
care, to be honest. I mean, another Texas team would be cool, I guess, being from Texas.
Hmm.
Uh, but there's already a ton of Texas teams, like, so maybe somewhere that where there's an NFL team there, like I don't know, Baltimore, throw an NBA team in Baltimore as well, or just something like that. Uh, as much as I don't like Oklahoma, maybe somewhere another Oklahoma team. I don't know,
Yeah. I didn't
or
put much thought
Kansas.
into it.
I really don't know. I don't really care a whole lot about where teams would expand to because it's like I live in Texas. We've
Yeah.
got plenty of Texas teams, so I don't. It doesn't really bother me a whole lot. I think Las Vegas and Seattle probably are the two best places to do it. Uh, I mean, maybe another Canada team, Montreal, throw one back in Vancouver or something. But other than that, don't really know.
Yeah. I didn't really put much. Sorry, I kind of put you on the spot there. I didn't really put thought into it. It just came into my head. But I mean, yeah, we're both Texas, so 3 teams is fine with us. We already got 2 NFL teams, and baseball's rocking and hockey, so we're good. We don't care about that. So, as we know, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the struggles of the Lakers and how bad they were, and not doing well after the All-Star break. But now, they're on a 9-game win streak as of now, and we're making that final push into the last couple of weeks. So what do you,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean Luka's balling. That's for sure. Speaking of Luca, he that's was suspended for the Detroit game, then got rescinded. Him and Goga wrote both. Luca would have been suspended for that 16th technical foul, but the NBA rescinded it, which I think was fair. I think Goga was also talking trash about his family or whatever, but
hmm
they were both talking trash. I didn't see all the details or whatever, but apparently something Goga said messing with Luca's family, and he reacted. So rescind him, that's fine. I think Luca will end up with another technical foul anyway, as much as he likes complaining to the refs.
yeah, we're fond
So
of
he'll get suspended at some point. Um, and then the Oklahoma City and Wizards fight, you got Julian Champagnie and AJ Williams, or sorry, AJ Mitchell, who both
hmm
are suspended for a game. It's like the past 3 weeks. What is it with everybody fighting, dude? How many suspensions have been thrown out for fighting?
I know, and
Like,
and of course we're not going to get another Malice at the Palace. I mean, that was just too
huh,
historic. But I mean, like, let's just spice things up. Adam, you know what, Adam
I
Silver?
don't hate it.
Yeah, no,
I
I don't
mess
mind
with
it.
it.
I mean,
As long as people aren't getting hurt and Lou Dort not hurting people, screw Lou Dort. He should have been suspended too. I don't care if he didn't
he
play.
did it again the
Suspend
other
him.
day when they were playing the Nuggets. I think he
I
like,
did see that.
and I was
I
just,
know this Wizards game, Lou Dort didn't play, but I just say suspend him because he was encouraging it. I know he
yeah,
was. It's Lou Dort, bro. Ain't
and
no way he wasn't encouraging it.
we're gonna have Draymond 2.0, man, and then Draymond 1.0 is still active.
Oh yeah, he's already
Yeah,
Draymond. I didn't realize he's never been suspended in his career.
Lou
Did you
Dort.
know that? I saw something that said Lou Dort had never been suspended. Can we change that, NBA? Can we
Can we
suspend this
change the
man,
one
please?
game, please?
Please suspend
If we
him.
want to
He
throw,
needs to be suspended.
if we throw text at Luca for being suspended, let's throw one at Lou. I mean,
Yeah, dude, let's eject Lou Dort in every other game now for the love of the game, because that man should not be in the league, bro. So disrespectful.
and he wants to argue about
He's
not.
hurt intentionally hurting people. It's
Yeah, he's not
ridiculous.
just gonna stick his foot out at Jokic while he's just running and say, "No, I didn't mean to." I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
dude,
he nah, he's
the
a liar. He's a
the
bum.
ball came clearly showed it."
There's no room for this in the NBA. We already had to put up with Draymond's bullcrap for a decade. Now we got to
Yeah,
put up with Lou Dort now too.
it's gonna. I hope as much as I'm a Mavericks fan and as much we have a rival with the Thunder, I hope this comes back and bites them in the playoffs. We'll see though.
Yeah, so well, his reputation's already bad, so
Yeah,
he the refs.
yeah, but so yeah, that's pretty much it. Lakers are hot. Nuggets kind of
They're
tournaments.
scaring me,
They're scaring
dude. They
dude.
lost to us playing a bunch of G Leaguers, so there ain't no room for that, and that kind of made me upset because at this point I'm rooting for the tank. I want to go get a top draft pick. Maybe we can fall to number one like the Mavericks did last year. That'd be great. I would love that.
One.
Shoot, dude. Give me any of Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, AJ DeBanza, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Give me all of them. I know Darren Peterson's the favorite, but like I don't. He still kind of scares me with the injuries and the DMP Darren Peterson. But I mean, I think he's probably the most talented in the class. It's
Mhm.
just the not playing and the sitting out and stuff that scares me.
Don't worry, he will be brought up later in today's episode. So,
Yes.
yeah, so final weeks, NBA are pushing. We're almost done. We're at the finish line with basketball. We also got Masters coming up here, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking it's closer, but it just
About a month.
about a month. Yeah,
About a
I think
month.
it's April 11th, 9th through the 12th. So, and
Oh, that's closer than I was thinking.
so it's the weekend after Easter. So, um,
So 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah. So we'll definitely cover that as it gets closer. So now we get to the piece of the cake, the big one, March Madness. We had some pretty good games, like we mentioned. Not as much upset, of course.
Yes.
There's no
Not as
Cinderella.
much upsets, but still some fun games.
So yeah,
I mean, there have been upsets. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, Texas over BYU, and then Texas over Gonzaga, which was crazy. Not, I was not expecting that to happen to Gonzaga, and then Iowa beat Florida.
yeah,
That was fun. Like to see that.
new champs this
And
year.
then how about St. John's and their game winner against Kansas, Darren Peterson and the Jayhawks? That was a fun game to watch.
I
Watch the end
enjoyed
of
it.
that. Kansas was down by a lot.
Yeah,
Went on like I think it's
sick.
like 18-4
18.
run
Yeah,
to tie the game. And then, they had like 4 fouls to give.
yeah, and they were
They
intentionally
gave all the
fouling.
fouls, and then they let that guy who didn't have a single bucket the entire game go score a game-winning layup on him. And then your season's over.
It was sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted St. John's to win this matchup, but I wanted to see Kansas win because I wanted to see Darren Peterson and Cameron Boozer, two of the top draft prospects this year in the Sweet
Yeah.
16. That would have been must-see TV. But St. John's,
I kind of wanted St. John's to win, kind of for the upset factor, but I kind of also wanted Kansas to win just because I want to see the Big 12 as a whole win. I
mhm,
want the Big 12 to kind of prove that they're the conference to beat. They're the good basketball conference. Um, and now we're down to Arizona, Houston, and Iowa State all left, and they've all looked dominant. So I'm looking forward to all three of them. But I don't know. Rick Pitino, obviously great head coach. Wouldn't say I'm like a huge fan of the guy.
he's got
I
money.
think
Or he's
he's
got
a
money.
phenomenal coach, but I don't always agree with some of his tactics and words and stuff. But
Yeah, he's
I think
referred to
St.
as the
John's
Godfather.
has a chance to upset Duke. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you're a Duke fan, but I think they got a shot. I really do.
This is the one matchup this week where I'm actually like, it's really tight. And, as we get closer into the rounds and into the Elite Eight, it gets tighter. So teams get more tough and it gets more challenging. I should have, this is the only time I should have been worried, but apparently they made me worried against Siena the other day. I don't want to, but look, props to them. Look, props to Siena. They really gave us some work in the first half. Second half, we were able to come in. We switched to zone finally. John Shire was like, "All right, just switch to zone," and then we fixed that real well. Sienna actually hadn't switched out any of their starters all game. They kept him in the
Yeah,
whole
I
time,
saw that.
and I think that's
Which
the
is kind of like, I get it. You think you have a shot to win the game, but it also sucks for those guys that are seniors.
yeah,
Because it's like, this is your one chance in March Madness and you don't get to play at all. That kind of sucks. I feel bad
yeah.
for those guys. But I get it. You're trying to go compete with Duke. You thought you had a chance there for a while.
It
Um,
really fatigued
it's
them
still
because you
kind
could
of
tell,
upsetting
yeah,
if you're one of those guys on the bench.
and their fatigue really killed them. That's what killed them was because once they got
Yes,
tired, they started putting up shots. Feels like all right, they're missing. Let's go.
absolutely.
So I'd say for us, the way that we ended that game against TCU in the second half, we have to do that more. We have to attack that more and be more precise about it. And we
You have to
can't do that.
dominate early and you cannot turn the ball over.
No, that's what killed us.
That is what St. John's killed Kansas
As
on.
and yeah,
Kansas had
six
it had like
turnovers.
13 turnovers, and it was like 8 minutes left in the game,
Hmm.
and St. John's had like 20 something points off of those turnovers. Duke has had a turnover problem all season.
Hmm.
If you turn the ball over against St. John's, they will beat you. That is where they will kill you
Wow.
because they capitalized on those turnovers versus Kansas, and that won them the game.
And they did great with it. I will give props to St. John's because for a minute they were about to run away with it, but then Kansas and Darren
Yeah,
Peterson pulled through with 9.5, 8 minutes left. It was funny because my brother, uh, our old coach, is a Kansas fan. You know who I'm talking about, and so
yes, Londy.
yeah, Londy's a big Kansas fan, and so my brother was like, "Oh, he's like, I just text Londy. He's texting the Duke Blue Devils logo, and I was like, I've had my message on standby, but I'm gonna wait because there's 9.5 minutes left. And then as soon as they tied it, I was like, that's why I said wait. But overall, it was a good game. I feel nervous, of course, but I think we could.
Yeah.
It'll be back and forth for sure.
I mean, I think it's obviously right to feel nervous, but I think you should be confident too. I
Oh,
think Duke
absolutely.
knows what they're up against, and I think they've still got a good shot to win. And
Hmm.
like we kind of briefly talked about, every time that they've beat St. John's in the tournament, they've gone on to win the national championship. So got to feel good about that if you
Yeah,
beat them for sure.
for sure. The one dude that does scare me is what's his name? The big dude, the setter. He did great
I don't,
yesterday.
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I
Don't
forget
remember his
his
name, but
name.
I remember seeing him a lot.
He did.
And they also had a lot of offensive rebound
Oh
opportunities
yes.
against Kansas.
Hmm.
If they would have hit more shots, if they weren't missing a ton of shots, it would have been a lot bigger. Like towards the end of the game, they were just missing shots. They were grabbing offensive rebounds and still missing shots. That's what got Kansas back in the game. If they hit those shots, Kansas would have never had a shot to
Um,
even be there.
how do you feel about Darren Peterson's style or gameplay yesterday overall?
Well, I think it was really kind of sloppy, to be honest. He was kind of making me upset. It's like I was like, set up an offense. He's coming down the court. He's going to the 3 point line. He's chucking a 3 point. He's
Hmm.
missing it. He really wasn't that efficient from the field.
Especially the first time.
I saw people going crazy. Oh, Darren Peterson, 20 whatever points, and I'm like,
Did
if
you
you actually
watch?
watch the
Did
game,
you watch the
he
first
really
half?
didn't play that well.
No.
Him shot chucking was really making me upset, and I was waiting for it. I'm like, when is Darren Peterson going to take over this game and prove to me that he's the number one pick in the draft? And I never really saw that from him. I was waiting for it, and every time he took a shot, it was pretty much a brick. He obviously had those clutch free throws. He made his free throws when it mattered. And
Hmm.
we'll say free throws win games. So that was good. If he would have missed those, that would have not been good, obviously. But he made free throws. He was clutch when need be towards the end of the game. Not good enough to get the job done, though.
And of course, the next time we'll be hearing Darren Peterson is when his name's being ready to be called at the NBA draft.
Possibly. I think these guys are just talking out their butts because AJ Demancey said the same thing. He might not declare for the draft. Darren Peterson said he might return to Kansas, but I think we all know they're not actually going to do that. They're still going to go to the draft.
Hmm.
Uh, like you're not going to go back to college. Like you know dang well. AJ Demancey might. He said it's based off his mom's decision, so whatever his mom goes for. But Darren Peterson, buddy, don't even try me on that, dude. You're going to the league. You know you are.
Do we
I
want
know
to?
you don't want to go play for Sacramento, but you're going to the league.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see another sitting out every time and then like playing. And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna hurt, so I'm gonna go sit down." Like, nope, can't do that in the NBA. That's called tanking. It's gonna get you a big old fine by the
Correct.
NBA. Adam Silver will not attend to that one bit. Um, Speaking of rookies in track class, how about Acuff for Arkansas, dude?
Yeah, dude. I'm loving him. He has been cooking. He had what, 35 points the other day?
Gets high pulled.
I don't want to see Arkansas win, to be honest.
Some people have him in their final
I
fours.
don't want to see Calipari win, but I think they do have a shot. I think they have a shot to upset Arizona.
Yeah,
I know you briefly mentioned that too,
mm.
but
I like Kobe
I
Pete though.
think it all depends on how good Acuff plays for sure.
hmm
That man, his draft stock's rising too. I
Absolutely.
wouldn't hate him as a top five pick. If you're a team that needs a guard and you take him at 3, sure. Sometimes best available player isn't the right thing to do. Sometimes you got to go. Can't really think of any teams that need a guard off the top of my head. Sacramento, obviously, you're not going to take a cuff at 1. You're going to take Peterson probably, but I don't know. Sacramento's just so trash all around that it doesn't matter. They need a position, like they need help at every single position. So you'll take Boozer, you'll take DeBanza, you'll take Caleb Wilson, you'll take Darren Peterson,
hmm
whatever you can get your hands on, you will draft them because your team is so trash.
Yeah, and I know you briefly talked about a couple of other upsets before we started. You said Michigan State over UConn.
I
Uh,
do. I think. Uh, I'm not a big Izzo fan. Sometimes he kind of pisses me off with what he talks about, but I think they've got a chance to beat UConn for sure. Obviously, UConn has the experience, and Dan Hurley's a great coach. I don't like Dan Hurley. I don't really respect him. I think he's a jerk, but
oh,
obviously he's a great coach, phenomenal coach. He has the winning experience. He's been here before, so. But don't be surprised if Michigan State does pull it out. If Jeremy Fears has a good game, like a good a great game. I think they can pull it out. I really
yeah.
do.
Can we briefly talk about how stacked that East bracket is, especially how it was like at the beginning? Because like you have Duke, St. John's, Kansas, Michigan State,
Arizona,
Arizona.
Arkansas,
Yeah.
Michigan State, UConn,
And
and then Purdue and
Purdue, and then
Texas.
the East region just alone was too stacked, and that's what kind of makes it tough for Duke. But
Yeah.
so I know we kind of made predictions with the upsets we got, but we have the full bracket now for the Sweet 16 Elite Eight. Let's go ahead and make our predictions.
So Duke and St. John's. I think St. John's got a shot. I'm still gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say Duke wins. I think Duke will pull it out. I think they're better. They're better coached, better disciplined right now, currently. I think Duke pulls it out.
Okay, I'll take that. Accepted. Of course, me, I'm the Duke guy, so I'll take Duke. Mich
Michigan State and UConn. This one's hard,
You
man.
know, after hearing your analyst talk about it and seeing Jeremy Fears the other day against Louisville, I think they can. I mean, it's a 3-2 matchup, so it's right there.
Yeah. I think UConn probably can do it, but honestly, give me Michigan State. I like Michigan State. I think they can do it. I think they can pull it out. I'm gonna take Michigan State here.
Do we have the horns up, taking down the Boilermakers?
No, I think Texas, your run's over. Your Cinderella run's over. I think Purdue
Braden,
wins that.
Braden
I
Smith.
know Texas has been balling, but I don't think Gonzaga was really as great as people thought. BYU's obviously struggled, not that great. Give me Purdue all day, every day.
Braden Smith has been hot, and then what was their center's name?
Correct. I don't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
seen him play. He's been really
he's been
good.
really good. Uh, Arizona over Arkansas. We got Acuff and Pete.
I am gonna take Arizona still. It wouldn't surprise me if Arkansas wins, but I'm gonna take Arizona. I think they're really good. and it's a little bit of Big 12 bias. I want to see Big 12 be there, but I think they're the better team. I know you're high on Arkansas. I know you thought they'd beat them, and I don't hate that.
Another seed, one seed taken down. I do like me some Kobe Pete, and like, just give me Arkansas. I'll just take Arkansas. So this doesn't take
All
30
right,
years.
all right.
I'll spice things up, make it interesting.
I messed with that. Iowa and Nebraska. Give me Iowa. Give me Iowa, dude. I think Iowa will do it. I think they're hot. I think they're looking good. I don't think Nebraska's really that great. Uh, I think Iowa can pull it out. I think they'll win.
After watching Nebraska play Troy the other day for a little bit and seeing how much they lit up the 3-point shooting, and then they played Vandy the other day, shoot, and how Iowa really, really gave Florida. They were up on Florida at least by 10 points at least throughout the game, and they had it
Yeah,
the whole way. Yeah, I like Iowa in this matchup. Give me Iowa. um, next we
Houston and Illinois.
Houston.
Give me Houston. I don't. I mean, I think Illinois has been good, but not better than Houston. Kelvin Sampson's great coach. Kingston Flemings, Chris Sinak, all those guys. I mean, Milos Uzan is great in March. Like, give me Houston. That's a no-brainer for me personally. Tennessee and Iowa State. This is a fun one.
I like this. I like this.
If
Seeing this on
Joshua
paper,
Jefferson plays, I think Iowa State probably wins by a good margin. If Joshua Jefferson doesn't play, I still think Iowa State will win, but I don't think it'll be closer and more entertaining. I love Nate Ament, and he's been balling, he's been great. I just don't think Tennessee's good enough to get over that little hump, and I think Iowa State is a great team. I think Iowa State wins this.
yeah, I like Iowa State in this one too. Tennessee hasn't really surprised me as like a team that can make it deep in the
They're
playoffs.
beating teams that I feel like they should beat, and they're beating them by good amount of points.
Hmm.
So I'm high. I was high on Tennessee coming into this to the tournament, and they've beaten the teams that I feel like they needed to beat. So I'm happy with them, but I think Iowa State's better.
Yeah, I think Iowa State definitely favors better in this matchup.
And Michigan
Michigan
and
at
Bama,
Bama, Michigan.
Michigan, don't like not even a question. I mean Bama dominated Tech. Not really super surprised. Christian Anderson, worst game of his season. Well, probably the worst game he's ever played in college basketball ever. Defense atrocious, rebounding terrible. Don't get me too far into that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
give me Michigan. Michigan, I think, is probably uh the first or second best team in college basketball. So they're just dominating, man.
aside
Axel Lindenberg, he's
he's
fun,
he's
man.
he.
Love
I've been
him.
liking him to watch. Aside from losing their Big Ten championship, they've been a really good dominant team. Haven't gone against us. They still put up a really good fight. So I like Alabama or Michigan in this game. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all the matchups for the
That's
Sweet
it.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the last one for Sweet 16, and then we'll talk Elite Eight next
next
week.
week,
Come,
come
yeah.
next episode.
So,
Yeah. But all right, so
but
that's gonna do it for today's episode. So glad to be back. That week off was
yes,
for sure
sir.
needed. Like I said, guys, in the letter that I posted, we got a lot coming up. So we're really glad to start getting things going, heating up. And speaking of starting new things, baseball's coming up this week too. Opening day's coming.
That's true. Yeah, we'll maybe talk a little baseball here and there. That's not really
Yeah.
our main thing.
That's-
We don't know a whole lot about that, but it's still fun. It's still sports.
Mhm.
We'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, but of course, we love bringing y'all content of this. So that's another episode of the KNC Sports Podcast, episode 6. That's Caden. I'm Cooper, signing off.